All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a Spiritual Warriors Table. Today is December the 11th, 2025, and God has blessed us to come into our 38th day. I'm excited about that. That's for sure. Hallelujah. And I say good morning to all of you today. Good morning to Emily. Good morning to Beth Daniels. Good morning to Angela. She's on here today. Oh, wow. I'm doing real good. Angie's on. Elder Larry Long is on. All right, Helena's on. That's good morning to her. Good morning to Venus Chapman. Good morning to all of the Reaching Out for Jesus Christian Center family. Deborah Sloan with an E and Hardy with a Y. So glad she made it on. Wycedra's on here. Good seeing her this morning. Good morning to all of the tubers. That's right. Jordan is on. There you go. There you go. There you go. Evelyn is on. There you go. Venus is on. That's so good. Thank you. Aljetta Broughton is on. That's right. And Lynette Williams is on. Good morning to all of you. Saying this is going to be a great morning today. I feel like God has something in store for us. I'm getting this together. I feel like sometimes I'm choking. I'm choking. I'm choking. Ugh. 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 So bear with me just a minute here. Oh boy. Okay. So that's been okay, here we go. So it's been a great day to start. It's the 11th. I feel like I'm choking. I got to do this. There we go. Now I feel like I can make it. Okay. It's just one of those days for that to be all right. Okay. So now we got it. I think I got it. If it didn't, it'll be all right anyway. So anyway, I'm so grateful that we have this day and we're doing pretty good and that God is really working with us and that he's holding us to a place in him. And so therefore I know that we're moving through this day and we're only so many days away from that 52. And but we're moving, and I'm grateful for that. I know that you all are moving with me. We're moving as a unit together, which is pretty good. Thank God for again our producer trying to make things a lot better. Don't want to ever forget that because it makes the difference. Hey, all right, so let's get ready to look into some things here. As you know that I'm saying day 38. I think we're in day 37. I might have moved ahead. Good morning, Debbie Campbell. Good morning, Sharon Woodbury. Good to see you on here, Lavelle. Riley, good to see you on here. Randall, good to see you on here this morning. Smalls, good to see you on here today. I think we're on day 37. I don't know what I'm doing with myself. I'm saying day 38. But you know how it happens. All right, let me get started here. Sharon Fred, T. Bountiful in Salt Lake City, Utah. Betty Carter, Auntie is in New Jersey. Oh God, and you know who I know is not on here, but I can ring it loud. But when she does come on, that's Sonia Crumpler McPhears. She doesn't like the bell. I gotta get a good laugh and good morning, Prophetess Green. To our deacons, Deacon Matthew Simmons, and it's also the Deacon Jimmy Coburn. Ah, yeah. Mr. C, Mr. C, Mr. C. Corinne, good morning to you. As we're coming on here today. And before I go into order, let me get a lot of these things out. And to you, and to all of you today, I'm wishing you a very prosperous week. I learned so much this week about just me and the things that I have not been delivered from, that I had to get delivered from and let it happen quickly. And then the things that I had to allow God to work on me with, which was not an easy thing because some things I had to learn to let go of. I was like, do I really want to let go of this? I had to think about it because it's been a part of my life so long. And that's where the tears well up at. And then I'm just grateful because I'm able to laugh at myself. Good morning, Vera Reed. Good morning. Good morning. But all right, Vera Reed and of course, Lorraine Adams. We're in session. All right, we're in session. Day 37, we're working it out. Elder Merrick Needham, I know when he comes on, he'll be glad to know I thought of him today. Deacon Flood, good to know that he's on today. Whenever he comes on, I'll have to say good morning to him too. Okay, I got to get my black cherry on and I'll be together in a second. I'm going through withdrawals. Oh gosh. So I want to start off by saying that God has been good to all of us in these 36 days. We started on yesterday, 37 days as of today. Thank you, Corinne. She's like, yeah, yes, day 37. Don't be trying to mess her up, Corinne. Okay, so let me start off with this. It's from the repairer to revival. From repair to revival. The inner man becomes a movement. I want you to understand that the inner man becomes a movement, and we've been doing that. And it's been a journey. It's been a journey, people. It's been a journey, and it's been a journey that the Lord has really blessed us to be on. And I know that as we come through this, we've learned some things. And as we've learned some things about ourselves, what we thought we may have been delivered from may have been a light scab to it. But the fact is that it was healing. And I want you to remember that. I've had several people to say to me, I found out that I had scabs on some things. They were still sore, but what I want you to recognize more than anything, it was in its healing process. Can you say that? It was in its healing process. Oh, I have to pause there. How blessed are we to have something in its healing process? It could have been just there, open wound, full of infection. But most of us, we realize that whatever we felt, whatever we saw, or we recognized may have still had some pain to it, it was based on the fact it was going through its healing process. And can we begin to just put some hashtags of praise in right now that although you recognize some things that let you know that you weren't as far along as you thought you were, but you have to recognize it was in its healing process. It may have been a light scab forming on it, or it had some skin that was coming on, but it wasn't totally healed. It was still sore, but it was in its healing process. Because healing is a process. Or it is in its healing process. And can we just worship God for that? That makes a big difference, you know, the healing process. Getting past people that may have done things to you, and you say, wow, some things brought up things in you like, I thought I had forgiven, but you did forgive, because now that you realize that you've moved further along, because they weren't lodged in your heart, but what it did was it let you know how far you've come. And even though you felt the pain of it, you were still in the healing process. Oh God, I just want somebody to just really allow themselves to experience that it was pulling you through and is yet healing you through some things, because the trauma and the drama of it was so dramatic. It just couldn't be helped. It didn't happen just like that. You had to walk through some things because you had to walk through that trauma of it. It took you through a walking process in the trauma and the drama. Okay, all of those things you were walking through. It took you a while before your eyes were even open. I got to just lift my hands right here to see what was really going on. And then the shock of how long this has been going on with you before you even recognize that it was happening. And then to have to allow God to go in sometime to do emergency surgery. And then it was a process to learn how to walk again, trust again, speak again, release yourself to do things again. This is all a process in the healing, trusting that you could put your foot down. When I broke my leg and the cast, I had my leg bent to a point when we put the cast on. And so when I took my foot out of the cast, I had to learn and trust how to, even though my bone had healed, but I had to trust that I could put my foot back on the ground. That was a process of learning how to release my leg again, the stiffness that was in my leg. And I knew I couldn't run like I started to run in the beginning. It was a gradual thing I had to do to get back into running, to get back into walking on it to the fullness, and remembering that there were times it was still sore when pressure was applied. And so this is why I want you to give God praise for the healing process. And I wanted to stop right there and say that is something that is very important. So the inner man becomes a movement as the healing process takes place. I don't want you to get stuck there and think, oh my God, you realize that all these things and people yet do this, they haven't yet done anything. You're coming to the realization that you had checkpoints in you and they were being checked. And you said, ooh, all right, I almost went that direction, but in these 52 days, these 37 days that I'm in, it put a check in me again that I didn't allow that breach to remain open. I'm closing the breach. Can I just get somebody to say amen? Yeah, I'm closing the breach right here. I'm living my best life. I remember one of the young ladies that was on. She's on our Tube family, and she gave out her book bag, beautiful book bags. I wanted one, beautiful bags. I wanted one of them bags so bad. I'm telling you, the bags were set for the homeless, and she was giving them out. She sent me a picture yesterday of all of the bags they were giving out to the homeless. Them bags was beautiful. Oh my God. She just was giving these bags out for the homeless people. As we were talking yesterday about funding mercy, she went right into action, funding mercy, getting book bags. I call it book bags, but putting bags together, backpacks, that's what it was. It was a backpack. Putting a backpack together with all the essentials and all those things to fund the mercy, those who were homeless. I got to lift my hands and thank God for that. I don't think she's on this morning, but if she was, she'd probably start smiling. But when she sent it to me, she was doing what we talked about, the oil, the wine, and bringing forth healing and joy. And yet she was funding mercy. Oh, God. That was she's a young lady too. And so she did that. So she was renewing the inner man of herself because she was going through something herself. And so I was like, wow, look at how God touches and used her, put the team of people together to do that. Thank you for putting the hand claps in. And I pray that when she comes on, that she'll see that it made a big difference. And she's on our Tube family on YouTube. And so it made a big difference in her life. I just got to stay calm here. But to know that as you are allowing God to heal those wounds, and if you're on here and have been on here and you say, but now I feel like I failed because I realized all these things I thought I was past this, I thought I was past that, but some of these things yet are still here. You can know that God is only allowing you to see some checkpoints so he can close the breaches in your life. He's closing up those breaches. Hallelujah. That's how we're going to do that. And so the mind of the repairer, the mind of the repaired is something that's very important. Renewing the inner man is so important. And that's what it's about. And I want to make sure we get that clear. So my anchor text is going to come out of Romans 12:2. And I got other things I want to say, but here it is. Day 36, as you know, taught us compassion after communion. And we learned we were repaired people to become repairers. Mercy in motion. Are we on the same page with that? Mercy in motion. That's what it's about. That's what we learned. We were mercy in motion. And we saw the Good Samaritan as a good model for us to see, go, bind, pour, and pay. That's what the Good Samaritan represented. We saw the Good Samaritan model. It was to see, to go, to bind, to pour, and to pay. That's how it went. And so therefore, today, God repairs the mind breach. The mind breach. This is going to be so good, people. So compassion doesn't collapse into burnout. If you understand what I mean by that, please. Whew, please put in a number 8. Okay. Oh my God. Matters of fact, if you know somebody could use this, share this page with them, if you will. I'll even pause a little bit and say, this is so important. Today, God repairs the mind breach so compassion doesn't collapse into burnout. And we know that to be so. Oh, and all of my prayer warriors, I got a couple on here. I know that are family prayer warriors, and you've given, and the compassion has come to a place that you're burnt out. You don't have no more compassion sometimes. It's just, you're just done. Oh my God, he's speaking. When the Lord speaks like that, I have to do, it's just something that's, wow. And I just know there are more people that need to hear this, and I want you to give them a chance to get on and catch this. This is very, very, very powerful, and sometimes hearing it fresh makes a difference. But I prayed already that whenever people hear this message today, a month from now, a couple of years from now, they're going to be receiving a fresh word. Period. That's it. So some breaches aren't in your behavior. Did you hear what I said? Some breaches aren't in your behavior, they're in your thinking. How many of us know that? God help us. Oh, God. Oh, they're in our thinking. You can be healed in your heart and still live trapped in old mental rooms. Thank you for all those emojis of hearts going up and stuff. Do you hear what I'm saying? You can be healed in the heart. This is why I was talking. This is very emotional for me. I'm telling you. Healed in your heart and still live trapped in your old mental rooms. One of the prayer warrior of our church, Emily McElwain, says, acceptance, when you learn how to deal with acceptance, you'll make it. It's a hard thing, but when you deal with acceptance, you can make it. I had to let her bring her on here so she could talk about that. That thing is so powerful in her. So we still live in trapped old mental rooms. You can be redeemed and still rehearse the rip. Thank you, Corinne. On point, she says. Sarah said, yes, Lord. So you can be redeemed and still rehearse the rip. You can be aligned and still think scattered. Did that help all of us? Did that help all of us? Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna stay calm right there. But I gotta ring the bell. Stop your madness now. Did you hear an answer to it? He says you can be aligned and still think scattered. You know how we always say, I don't know how they can do so much, and they just as scattered-brained as they want to be. There's an answer. You can be aligned with God and still think scattered. This is helping me. I wish I had a whole bunch of people could respond to that. Let me see what they're doing over here on the tube. They're kind of getting with it over here. But Facebook, y'all on it. Somebody said, yes, sir. And you know why I probably can get with that? Because it's happened to me. Ah. So day 37, God is saying to us, let me repair the breach in your mind so you don't rebuild ruins with old thoughts. And God knows he's helping me with that. He's helping me with that. He's working it out for me and he's winning. I like to say he's winning. All right. He's setting new order. December the 11th, 2025, he has set new order that we will not rebuild ruins with old thoughts. Oh God. Hey Moselle, it's good to see you on here. Okay. You're not going to do it because the mind is the doorway. The mind is the doorway to your peace, your purpose, and your power. Say it. My mind is the doorway to my peace, my purpose, and my power. Oh God, help me, Jesus. There got to be some new order here. So welcome to day 37, everybody. Welcome to day 37. Welcome to day 37. Hey, all right, put those hashtags of praise in there. Come on, come on. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Welcome to day 37. Welcome. Welcome. It's been hellish. It's been sometimes overwhelming. Sometimes you were full of anxiety, but you made it to day 37 and God is still working on you. And you have some things that have been fixed, adjusted, taken out, replaced. Oh, yes, restored and refilled. Yes, welcome to day 37. Put those hashtags in, put those emojis in. Let's make it happen. Let's let it happen. Let's let it happen. Come on, people. Welcome to day 37 because he's the repairer. He repairs my mind. He repairs my mind. He repairs my mind. He repairs my mind. Oh God, I feel this in my spirit today. He repairs my mind. So here we go here. I want to make sure I get this. Romans 12 verse 2 says, and do not be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what that is good and acceptable and the perfect will of God. Somebody help me in here. 2 Corinthians 10 verse 4 and 5 says, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty in God for the pulling down strongholds, casting down arguments, and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, bringing every thought into captivity to the obedience of Christ. My God, what is he talking to us about today? He's letting us to know the mind is a building site. And we know that if I get the opportunity, sometimes I don't, but I can see different people, like the people in my church, especially and those of you that are here, oh God, I feel this so good in my spirit. I can feel this of just laying hands on the people and just laying hands on their head and just rubbing in their head like this, going back, saying, God, you are that mind they have is the building site for their prosperity, for their purpose, for their healing. Oh my, you just don't know. It is so powerful when someone really knows how to pray the prayer over your mind. I wish I had a couple of people say they understood that or could type in, you are right. If someone really knows how to pray, I don't mean shake your head and twist your neck, give you whiplash. Just know how to pray over your mind. Just pray. And when they hold your head, you can feel things. Whoo! You can I gotta stop that thing. But feel the release in your mind, the pressure being released, the peace of God coming. They just know how to pray. They're not shaking you all around and twisting you. There are some people the Lord does use to do that. I'm not going against that. But I'm talking about when they try to make it a show. Just when they just know how to just gently lay their hands on you and you feel it break. and a peace comes over your entire body and your spirit. There's something that happens, and you can just feel, you almost feel like you can go to sleep right there because you're trusting and you just let. There's some people I just know that when they wrote me yesterday, I felt their spirit. I felt their spirit. I prayed through the night for them. I read what they wrote, and it was deep, and I prayed because I already knew God had given them answers that were going to get them through everything they needed to deal with. You can tell I want me some salmon cakes, some salmon cakes and eggs. Hallelujah. But anyway, it's going to happen. So the mind is the building site, people. Your life follows your thoughts. Our life follows our thoughts. And you know, the older you get, the more you recognize it. And sometimes if we were able to teach our children some of these things a lot easier, they could get along a lot better. Now, they're going to make up their mind to do what they would like to do on their own. And they're going to certainly do some things that we're not going to like as we've done. But once you place these seeds in them, it germinates and it grows and they make better decisions. I made better decisions because of what my mom taught me. My dad, too, in his wicked ways. Amen. So, because even when your kids do bad, they'll put boundaries up. You say, Lord, I don't know why they do the things they do, but because you've given them good teaching, they only go so far. To you, it's the worst, but they still keep a certain level that they're not going to go to. Yeah. I want to say some more, but I can't because I can't get into it like I want to. But breaches. I want to say this real clear. Breaches is thinking, creating. Listen. Breaches in thinking. I want to make it clear. Create breaches in living. Breaches in thinking creates breaches in living. So God repairs the mind first so that life doesn't leak later. Now, we know that to be true. Our lives are leaking later because our minds were not healed first. And if you know that to be right, put in what we're going to say, a 65. Because 6 was the number of man to rise or fall. 5 is the grace of God that keeps us. And it equals an 11 because the God of the 11th hour stepped in to catch us and heal us of our leaky lives. And this is all after the communion. Oh man, I hope I get people that really can catch this. Okay, I just, oh, this is so important. So what mind? What mind? Our mind. And breaches look like this: fear loops in the mind, shame scripts in the mind, trauma memories running the present in the mind. Not enough mindset, self-rejection, constant overwhelmness. That's what it looks like in those breaches. And some of you don't need a new season, you need a new lens. You don't need a new season, you need a new lens so you can see some things differently. Because renewals, the renewal is let me get it right. I want to make sure I say this right. The renewing of your mind is like this. The renewal is transformation, not cosmetic. You don't need a cosmetic change. You need that transformation. That when the cosmetic is gone, you still looking good, sister, brother, my sisters, my brothers. Romans 12:2 says renewing the mind changes the shape of the person. Renewing the mind changes the shape of the person. Listen, God doesn't repaint old thinking, he replaces it. He doesn't repaint it, he replaces it. And if you know that's right, you need to put in a 66. Why? Because you are already moving in new order when he gives you new thinking. You know it. I mean, there are things that happen to me. You know, you hope that people recognize it, but then when you get that new thinking that God gives you, and you're seeking God, and you're easy on what God has given you, meaning that you're taking the time to walk in it, guess what happens? Whether people recognize it or not, you recognize it, and you walk with new order. Your continent changes. I know what I'm talking about. That's why it's 66. Oh my God. And so capturing thoughts across all the spheres that God wants to heal us in, men, I always say, I'm not enough, replaced with identity in Christ. Most time men, we feel like we're not enough. We don't have enough. We every time we're challenged as just being men. And I have to sometimes come to this, and please forgive me for those who don't understand this, as a Black male, it becomes sometimes even harder. And you may say what you will. I want to clarify this, all you guys, and say it's not about color. You just got to know who you are, and it changes the color line. Yes, it does when you know who you are. When you're in Christ, you know that it's replaced with the identity of Christ. But even in that, you've got to fight and pray your way through, because you're proving that I'm just as much, I have just as much in intelligence. I can do the work as any other human being, but we are judged by the color of our skin. And we are many times looked over. And that is a part of life that we have to look at and talk to our children about. Our children of mixed race, the same thing happens to them. And I know that most people don't want to hear me say things like this, but it's a part of life. And we can talk Jesus all we want to, but it's a part of what man has done. So therefore, men many times are faced with, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough. And when we try to raise our men in a place of colorless, being colorblind, they're brought to a reality. And they can say what they will, but when they get in certain places, people make you know, they make it known who you are. Women, I have to carry everything alone. Changes is replaced with grace and boundaries. Because women set up the boundaries they need to have set up. No, I'm not going to carry this all by myself. I have a grace within me, and I can set boundaries up. I know when to say no, and I know when to say yes, and I can say it with a freedom inside of me. You know, and it's true. They feel like they have to carry everything alone. They carry they seem like they carry 90% of the load of their households alone. Even sometime with the man in the house. And he may be the provider, he may work the job, he may bring the money in, but sometimes she still feels she's carrying 90% of the load alone because she's the nurturer. She nurtures the children. She spends the time with the children. She makes sure they get to where they got to go. She's washing the clothes. She's cooking the food. And a lot of times we come home and we just come home. And we forget that they need love and care. We forget that we need to take them to dinner. We need to romance them. We need to be able to make a family day, create family things to do. And that's hard to do sometimes when you've already been embedded with that. You see one generation to the next not doing it. And some of you may not want to say nothing to me, but it's It's what's happening, and we have to talk about it, or we don't break the cycle, and we paint it and don't let God replace it. Youth, I don't belong. I'm confused. It's replaced with calling and clarity. What am I called to? And I have clarity in what I'm doing. I don't belong. There are so many youth that feel like they don't belong anywhere in this world. That's how they're able to get into the games. I call it the gaming world, because they create a life in the gaming world where they feel like they're accepted. I could go on, but I can't do that right now. So our seniors, I'm done. I'm irrelevant. That's what happens. And we help to create that, but they God replaces that with legacy, purpose. But we don't know that all the time because we are not tending to our seniors and elders. We don't take the time to listen. We don't take the time to visit. We don't take the time to do anything with them. It's like when they're, grandmommy and auntie, we go by and see them when we're kids. We go by and they help us, they raise us, they buy us good things, they hug us, they show us all the good love. We become teenagers, we kind of move away from them. We build our own worlds, and we forget about grandmother unless it's embedded from one generation to the next. You got to make sure you go see the elders of your family. It is not done. There are some families you're not moving until you take that baby to the elder. They don't care about who's on the other side. You may not do it on your daddy's side, her daddy's side or her mama's side, but on my side, we take the babies to the elders of our family. They must see. Don't tell me she got to come here. No, no, no. We'll go there. She's older now. He's older now. They don't do the traveling they used to do before. They have something to impart to our children. If nothing that they do but just lay their hands on the child and speak a word of peace. That's what they do from one generation to the next. We've got to create that. Oh, if there's anybody that agree in it, come on, say so. As a pastor, I have this thing, and I know Emily and a couple of people say, yes, you've been saying it. I'm not going to even call it out right now. But I wanted to do. And it seems like every time I get ready to do it, something comes and blocks it. Whether it's through my mindset, because that's what we're talking about, the renewing of the mind, closing that breach in the mind, or somewhere else. And when this is where it should have been for the last, at least I know 5 years. If Emily's on here or somebody, she might can put on here that it should have been how many years it could have been, but it was supposed to be. Because you have to have a place that people can come and bring their children and bring them to the elder, that they can lay hands on that child, look into that child and declare a peace over them. Wow. I don't want to get full about it, but it's the truth. And so what happens? So our seniors feel irrelevant and they say, I'm just done. There's no use for me. I cannot allow that to happen in my church. Now, as long as my eyes are open, I'm going to make them feel and know that they are relevant and they're not done. They have books in them that they need to write. They have journals they need to go back and put those into books so people can read it. For the generation, their voice is yet speaking. Where they're gone, their voice is still speaking. They laugh at me. Some of them look at me and roll their eyes. I'm not doing it, but I try to tell them, do it. The community that I come out of. And although sometimes I ache because they'll say to me from the new from my community, say, why do you push a community that you are not a part of, that you're not from here? Because they have a rich history. And I want them to write it out before it's lost and no one writes about it. They have things that have happened in this community that they have brought forth that is not even listed. Write it. So I say it. And many times they walk away and don't say anything to me. And one day the Lord said, just because they didn't say nothing to you don't mean they don't appreciate you for saying it. They may not know what to do to get it started. Okay, let me move on with this. So families, This is just how we are. No, God replaces that with generational blessings. We got to change that. This is just how we are. We'll beat your behind going and coming. The Lord, cover up my mouth. Oh, I tell you, that was a good one, Jesus. I love you, Jesus. It was nowhere in thought, but it was trying to come through. And I thank God he just moved right. He just took it and said, lip. Okay, we'll beat you going and coming. We this is how we are. We do this. But he says, you change the course of your family when you teach them differently. Okay, it was fun then that y'all jumped everybody, one fight, all fight. But that was not always the answer. Yeah, you had to learn that because, when they fought your brother or your sister, they jump your brother. So you said, no, we're not going to have that. You got to fight one, you got to fight all. I understand that some of us have been bullied in our lives. All of those things I understand. But then I need to teach my children another step and another way. I need them to learn how to teach them how to handle some things without their fists, only when necessary, because you don't need them to go to jail. And how do we get out of that rut? That's how we are. We spend all our money. That's what we do. What you worried about it for? How do we teach them how to gain wealth and how to hold on to wealth and how to invest? I'm about to finish. Just give me a minute here. I'm just telling that somebody's trying to rush me. That's what's happening. You got generational wealth that you can create. My daddy was a runner. I'm gonna be a runner. Everybody got to be a runner. We all ran. We were all doing this. No, let's break the cycle. You and I can do it. Businesses, I'll fail again. No, God replaces it with wisdom and endurance because your mind is changing. Every business I have fails. Well, what happened, God? Show me where in my mind I keep missing it. Am I lazy in one area, or am I moving too fast in another area? Or do I need to relax and really follow what you're doing? Or am I not doing what you asked me to do? Am I not being what I need to be? Or am I faking the funk because I'm around the wrong people and they're causing me to miss your voice? So I'm letting you replace that with wisdom and endurance. Wow, I feel this in my spirit. I pray somebody is really getting this. And so then he says, your finances, there's never enough. There's never enough. And he replaces it with good stewardship of faith. Many times, every time somebody asks me for money, I close my eyes, I shake my head, because I'm trying to get it together in my head. How do I move whatever it is I got to move, because I don't have but an inch of whatever it is they're asking for? So it looked like I'm angry. It looked like I'm upset. When all I'm trying to do is go, all right, help me to calm down. Help me to get this really together of how I can do this. That's all I'm saying. That's all that's happening. Because I have to get that together. Because I'm thinking he's replacing it with stewardship of faith. So replace, renew, and repeat. Replace lies with words of God, the word of God. Renew daily, the daily at the table. He's renewing me daily at the table. And I'll repeat until the breach seals. You get what I'm saying? That was powerful right there. I'll repeat it until my breach is sealed. That's all. So I'm going to bring my mind to Jesus. And if your thoughts have been leaking, racing, or condemning you, then we need to come to the table today, because God is repairing the breach in your inner man and the level of your thoughts. Has anybody got something from this? Have you gotten anything from it? Yeah, I slowed it down because it's very important. Because we're going to go to day 38, and this is going to be a very powerful day tomorrow. So I need you to get everybody you can get on here tomorrow, because it's going to be about the heart. So here he starts in this mind. He gives us everything we need to have in it. And he's saying to you and I, come on, let me renew your mind. Let this mind be in you that was also in Christ Jesus. Let me renew your thoughts. You can't rebuild with the old thoughts. You can't rebuild with the old thoughts. And you can't replace old thoughts by just painting over them. You got to replace it with wisdom. Many of us have been there, and I know it. When you come out of situations, we know it. We're walking in this. We're walking in it. I'm walking this out. I will keep doing it until the breach seals. I don't care. I'll repeat it until it seals. I'm going to keep reapplying it until it seals whatever's going on. This breach in my mindset has to be sealed. Remember, he's rebuilding the inner man, renewing and replacing things. That's why I had to slow it down today. My excitement is so strong about what he's doing. Because he's saying, I have something for you to do, as well as you, but I'm talking about myself. This message has lifted something off of me. It's like a weight lifted. You know, like I told you, I have something I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to do, purpose to do. When I talk about those elders laying hands, I know that every time, all they got to do is tell them a grandchild, a great-grandchild is born. They may not come to her. She's going to make her way. She's going to have them little legs moving to wherever they are. But she never saw her grandparents. So she makes sure that she gets to her grands and great-grands. And I'm always saying how blessed people are to have grandparents, because I have one. Both my grandparents are gone. But I made sure that I brought my daughter to my grandmother. Both of them. My great aunts. The elders of the family needed to see her. It was rough, but I said, you're going to see them. You're going to see them. And now I need to make sure that happens and encourage the people in my church. You got elders. Make sure you take your children. Let them come to you. You're the elder. Bring those children to you so you can lay hands on them. Ask God to cleanse your mind, your hands, your heart. Forget about what's going on with the mama or the daddy. This is about the baby. Lay your hands on them. I feel that. Anybody in here feel that? And if that did not happen for you, don't go feeling sad. I wish I had done my mama right. I wish I had done my daddy right. Don't go through all of that because you don't have time. What you do is you correct it through yourself. I'm going to be the best uncle, the best brother, the best pastor I can be with the wisdom of God, the best friend. Oh, yeah. Because in these 37 days I've been on, it has shown me some things, and it comes out in my conversations. I come on, I tell my purpose, I said, wait a minute, because I already know that there's some things that you're dealing with. And they go, I said, nope. It may look like that because wisdom says when friendship is involved, that's why I want to encourage you all when I close this. If you got a good friend, you're going to know them in the raw as well as in the good. I don't know about these new friends y'all got, these newfound friends, I don't understand. But friends, when they see the raw, they don't expose their raw. They say, look, I know you got something happening. And although you're saying no, I want you to know I understand that. And that's why I'm saying it like this, so that you know I'm covering that as well as I'm talking about some things for myself. That's good friends. Now, depending on what kind of degree of friendship you have, because I don't know, y'all have fair weather friends. I don't understand that a little bit, but okay. And they say you don't use that word, you don't use that word lightly. You're supposed to, know what you're doing with it. But okay, if that's how you say it or how you see it, let it roll. But uh, okay, I take the road of the I just don't know. But I want to encourage you, if you do, don't take it lightly. I made sure I talked to my mom a little bit last night, and we were laughing back because you want to be the best son, the best daughter, best grandparent. And no, you don't have to let people get over on you. No, no. And sometimes if they don't want what you have, I never forgot Arturo Skinner, Pastor Arturo Skinner said, get yourself some spiritual children. Some people that will really appreciate what you do. Yeah. So I want to encourage you, to your friends that you have, don't take them for granted. To your parents or the loved ones in your family, don't take I just thought about my prayer partner and their family. Don't take them for granted. Yeah, because if you don't take them for granted, guess what? God raises up people not to take you for granted. You're worth all your weight in gold and then some. You say, but I'm alone. Let me minister to people like this. And I want you to pray. Those of you to start praying. Whew. I'm alone because I'm that one that they consider to be that weird one. Well, they would consider you weird. Most people consider you weird when they don't understand that you're just who you are and they don't fit at your table. But there is somebody that understands you, and God will bring them around. And sometimes you can't release all of yourself to people at one time. They can't handle all of it. So you only can release a certain part, and that's it. And enjoy that. I can't eat around everybody. Because if they saw me eat them chicken livers, rice, and gravy the way I like to eat it, they said, no, we can't take him out no more. That's all I want to say. So that's it. I love food. I don't go around everybody to have food because some people think they can just put everything in front of me. I'm going to eat it all up at one time. No, that's not always the case. And some people think they can just put what they think I'm going to like out there at one time. That's not always the case. But good friends or people that really get to know you, they'll say, let me figure out how this works. That's the good part about building a relationship. And in these 37 days, God has reassessed some things. You built a new relationship with God. You find out things about yourself that he already knew, but yet you find out he loved you and accepted you right where you are until you became the more wiser to yourself, and he could just work on who you are. And the delight was to be able to come in and have this intimacy with you and to be able to sit down and work on you, work on your projects with you, your mindset, your heart, the things you needed, your deliverance and your healing in, and to see you wake up and see that he's been there all the time. That's what he's glad about. And so now you get the chance to share with him and release yourself to say, I trust you, God, with these 37 days to do even more with the remaining. I'm glad you were on here with me today. And I want to encourage you. Yes, I want to encourage you to sow a seed because everybody doesn't sow. But if you would, how about this? I like that number they gave out. You thought I was going to say the double sixes, 66. I wish I could get everybody to give $66. But no, I would rather say if everybody gave the 12. I'm going to do that today too. I'm looking for where I can put it in. They gave the 12. That would be a blessing. I love it when he just took the time to recognize that he was doing a great work and brought me into order. I like that. So if you would, you can, let's do that. Let's put the 12 in and let's make it work today. For those of you that would and find it within your heart, the support mercy, that's what I like about that. And I can't get over, she wasn't on today, but I know she's coming on later on. She took that word and made it work. And as you do so, I'm trusting the God in you. I know we have all these people, 75 people come on, more that all of us can do it. It should be something that just happens. I believe in God to loose people to say, you know what, hey, let me get this in here like this. Ding, ding, ding. I just believe it. I just have a faith that just won't waver on those things. And especially when it comes to doing greater things. So as we go through preparing for July, Prayer on the Mount, the 8th through the 11th, we'll be having our flyer up very soon. And that flyer will be put up and you'll be able to go, okay, we'll be able to do what we need to do. I'm going to be happy. You're going to be happy. We are going to be happy. You're going to be able to do some things and be able to join us. It's going to be a beautiful year of things that's going to happen. And those of you that live in the Atlanta area, down by Stockbridge, Georgia, you can join us. We're going to be with RAM, Bishop Richard Liebhart Mack, for RAM Elevation 2.0. That's January 22nd through the 24th. We're going to be there, and it's going to be awesome. That's a Thursday, Friday, and we're going to be checking out of there on a Saturday. And so be with us then. That's going to be something down there in Stockbridge, Georgia, at New Hope Cathedral in Stockbridge, Georgia. I'll be there. It's going to be something. It's going to be something. And we just want you to come on out. And as you're sowing right now, I'm looking forward to people who are sowing. As you sow, that's going to be a blessing. And we want to make some things happen this year. I know as we move into this new year is going to be good. I'll pray that when we get to the end of our 52 days, which is actually the 27th of December, I think that's going to be on a Saturday. So I want to do a very special broadcast. And I started putting something aside. This one made me laugh. Thank you so much for the one that just sold today. What got me was I was preparing my you're going to laugh. I was putting my money aside for my $52 for my 52 days. And, I almost went out to the king. What do you mean the king? The king of nuggets, baby. I was going to give me some chicken and nuggets. I said, but if I don't do this right, I won't have it. So to all my buddies, you know how we got to stop and get something. So I took the time. I said, you're on a good roll. Don't mess up, Kenneth, because I knew I was about to mess up. And I had my little side thing because I had one for my church, and then I had to put my little money aside for my 52 days. And I was like, I can get these chicken McNuggets, and I can replace this. Something said, don't do it, because something else is going to come up, and you're going to wish you had never done it. And lo and behold, I didn't do it, and I was grateful because something else did come up, and I would have had to double dip. Now, won't he do it? Yes, he will. I just want to testify, if you follow the Lord, he'll let you know. Don't do something because you have to pay twice. Ooh-wee. So I was getting myself together for my $52 for my 52 days, and I was getting together. And this is why I like to broadcast everybody, because I'm able to be real and share with you just like you're sharing with me sometime, what it really takes to get some things together. And it is sometimes indeed an effort for some things. Because them chicken nuggets was down here in the back of my jaw. And I was like, I could do that with some ranch and or I can get some hot mustard. But the Lord sustained me. So I think I'm gonna try to see if I can make me some today. I think not no chicken nugget. I'm gonna try to get me some salmon cake. I feel like a little salmon cake and some. Well, I have to see. Let me see what happens. But anyway, I thank you all for joining me today. Get up and wash your face, brush your teeth, rinse your mouth out, comb your hair all the way out if you will, please. If you're men, take care of yourself today. Get it all in and know that someone on this side of the microphone loves you and is really praying for you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all in July. The Lord spare my life. And if you're close to the Atlanta area, you may be out there when we get to RAM, Elevation 2.0. I'll see you there. And if you're coming to the mountains, I'm going to look so forward to seeing you. I got so much to just want to say, hey, I'm looking forward to seeing you. All right? So I'll see you tomorrow morning right back here for our Spiritual Warrior Table. Until then, have a great day and a good evening and a blessed night. Bye for now.